HBO is doing everything in its power to keep the secrets of Game of Thrones' final season under wraps, but that doesn't stop the rumor mill from whirling away nonetheless. These are a few of the spoilers that have slipped out so far. Thanks to a first-look set report from Entertainment Weekly, we now know exactly how Game of Thrones' first new episode will begin. The season will kick off in Winterfell as Daenerys Targaryen drives her forces to the north to help Jon Snow and his allies prepare for battle against the Night King's army. The setup is expected to resemble the pilot episode's big arrival of Robert Baratheon, and will usher in some interesting reunions between various characters. At least one person will be less than delighted at the new arrival, though, with Sansa Stark reportedly being displeased with Jon's decision to bend the knee in allegiance to Daenerys. Considering what they're all up against, however, she might just have to get over it. Executive producer Brian Cogman told the magazine, "It's about all these disparate characters coming together to face a common enemy, dealing with their own past, and defining the person they want to be in the face of certain death. It's an incredibly emotional, haunting, bittersweet final season, and I think it honors very much what George R.R. Martin set out to do." In addition to Daenerys' journey to Winterfell, Jaime Lannister is also expected to be heading in that direction, although Nikolai Coster-Waldau couldn't guarantee he'll make it all the way. Viewers of the 76th Golden Globe Awards were treated to a brief but powerful new teaser for Game of Thrones' upcoming season. Although it was a blink and you'll miss it reel, the brief clip contained a pretty big clue as to what lies ahead for the show. In the 8-second piece of footage, which launched alongside a bevy of other HBO teaser samples, Sansa is shown coming face-to-face with the Mother of Dragons at long last.
Winterfell is yours, Your Grace.
It's hard to tell whether Sansa's gesture is authentic or if she's becoming as cunning as her late ear whisperer Littlefinger. But in either case, it's clear the Lady of Winterfell is going to cede some power to Daenerys Targaryen for one reason or another. Which is a pretty surprising development, given how reluctant she was to let Jon flit off to Dragonstone and buddy up with Daenerys in the first place. In January, HBO released a new teaser for Game of Thrones' Season 8 that features Jon Snow, Sansa Stark, and Arya Stark all convening in the Stark family crypt. New to the scene is a trio of statues that represent the Stark siblings themselves, and notably, Bran Stark is missing. His handicap has certainly never stopped him from going places before, so it can't realistically be an access issue which is keeping him at bay. Instead, his absence from the teaser may be a bit of an official wink to the long-held fan theory that Bran Stark will become the Night King during one of his wargs back in time. The idea is that since Bran has been able to affect certain aspects of history in the past, he may inadvertently be the one to cause the Ice Zombies' ascent in the first place. Although she's currently persona non grata with Jon Snow and the rest of the North, Melisandre isn't done with her work for the Lord of Light just yet.
I will return, dear Spider. One last time.
My lady.
I have to die in this strange country. Just like you.
Some fans theorize that the reason the Red Woman is headed off to the free city of Volantis is to earn redemption. If she's able to recruit the Fiery Hand, the 1,000 soldiers who guard the city and follow the teachings of the Lord of Light, they may prove to be invaluable to the final battle. Were she to help Jon Snow and Daenerys fight the Night King's army in their hour of need, she might even be invited to remain without fear of persecution for her past actions and die on Westerosian soil as she intends to. Get ready to spend more time at the ancestral home of Balerion the Dread, because rumor has it that the major players will all be meeting once again in the Dragonpit in Season 8, and for much longer this time too. Watchers on the Wall reports that filming at the Roman ruins of Italica in Seville were scheduled from April 23rd to May 19th, 2018. That's nearly 4 weeks, which is quadruple the time the crew spent filming there for Season 7. Whether the scene is longer or just more action-packed, it's certain to be substantially bigger and better than the last time. What's more, there were no additional casting calls for extras, which means it's probably safe to assume that this particular scene will once again feature only the main characters we already know. And if Sophie Turner's talk of filming in Spain is a clue, then perhaps Sansa will get to say her piece at the Dragonpit too. Rumors from the Dubrovnik Times indicate that the last scene of the entire series may very well take place at King's Landing. According to these reports, the scene would have been shot in January 2018, with tents in the old town of Dubrovnik being a big sign that something was shot at King's Landing with most of the main cast. No additional extras were called beyond the main cast members, which is perhaps what caused sources to speculate that it was, in fact, the final scene. Nothing is official, of course, but surely King's Landing, the infamous home of the Iron Throne, would be a fitting location to end the series, which is all about that seat of power. Promisingly, the news that multiple main cast members were present is also a good indication that they probably don't all die in the Second War for the Dawn. Thank the gods for that. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Looper videos about your favorite stuff are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.